Brisket, brisket, brisket. How do you cook your brisket? Do you smoke it? Do you braise it? What do you do to it? Look here, today, I'm gonna show you a technique that's all about braising. I'm in Kansas City, Missouri, y'all. This is a barbecue country. But we're not gonna grill this brisket. We're not gonna smoke this brisket. We're gonna braise this brisket. This is gonna be one you'd serve with potatoes and gravy and green beans. This is one you put on your plate for Thanksgiving. Hey y'all, so today, we're gonna braise it. And we're gonna do it the way my mama did hers. And she did it old school. She put a little bit of Lillie seasoning salt, some bay leaves on that thing. Look here, it is up on your table with mashed potatoes and green beans. So this ain't gonna be one of the things where it is up on your table with French fries on the side. That's when you're smoking. I'm gonna put something on your table that you can do on Thanksgiving. You can do for a romantic dinner. You can just do for a weeknight dinner. Let's get with it. First things first though, we're gonna have to break this thing down a little bit. So I got the whole brisket, the one in the crowd bag. So when you get it in the crowd bag, it's gonna have a little extra fat cap on it. So we're gonna take some of that off and I'll show you how we do it. So that's what's next. We're gonna break it down and then we'll season it and we'll get him in the oven. Come on, stick around. I'll show you what's up. We gotta trim off. Doesn't look that bad on the side. And so I'm gonna cut this big fat cap off right here. Just get you your favorite knife. And you don't want the real thick, heavy fat portion. It's not gonna cook down right. So I'm not gonna throw it away though. I'm gonna save this and I'm gonna cook it low and slow and I'm gonna render this fat and make a tallow out of it. And I can use it when I'm grilling or if I'm making burgers or whatever I'm doing. So I got two knives. I got my chef knife and now I got my little boning knife. I'm just gonna get rid of all this excess fat. All right, y'all, so I've trimmed off just this one big piece of the fat cap. And what I'm gonna do now, so I'm gonna season it, and I'm not gonna trim the back at all. And the reason I'm not, I want that fat to be there because I want it to render, and I want it to render down because I'm gonna use those renderings to make a gravy and a sauce at the end. So here's where we go. So I'm gonna use Lillie seasoning salt. Could use kosher, but in this case, I really want to use Lillie's for the flavor. It's going to be reminiscent of Lillie made Kennedy. Because on Sunday afternoon, there'd be all kind of folk in my house. There was only 5 kids, my mom, dad, and there were 5 of us. But on Sunday, it'd be a whole bunch of people in my house, my mom and dad's house. All right, y'all, hey look, so we got our salt and pepper, our Lillie seasoning salt on our brisket, and he's looking amazing. We're not quite done yet. We're gonna add some old school stuff to it. Stuff out of the box. Yeah, I'm talking about Lipton beefy onion soup. It's a soup mix, but let me tell you what, it pulls a serious double duty when it comes to imparting flavor onto a brisket. So we're gonna get this fella into the pan. And now what I want to do, I'm going to do 2 more things. One, I'm going to take my Lipton onion soup mix. Hey look, don't do that, don't get cute with it. You're just going to put it on. Okay? Onto the meat, just like that. There's 2 packs in here, so guess what? I'm going to use the other one. I'm going to make a little bit of a slurry and add it to my water because we're going to make it into our braising. Hey y'all, so I've taken my other packet and I put it into my mixing bowl. All I'm going to do now, put a little water onto my measuring cup. Hey, so there you go. You probably got almost 2 cups in there. 2 cups of water. You just want to pour some around the side. I'm not going to pour this on the meat. I'm going to pour this around the meat. Because I don't want to take off all that seasoning we just put on there. We're almost there. So we got the salt and pepper on. We've now put the Lipton onion soup. Last thing, this is key. Bay leaves. All right, look here. So when Mom made hers, she dropped a couple, 2 or 3 bay leaves over in that braising liquid, and the flavor that the bay leaf brings to a beef is beyond description. So when we're done with this is something you probably serve like restaurant quality stuff, where you'll see in the end. I encourage you to stick around. You're not gonna believe what we're gonna do. We're gonna cover this with foil. We're gonna get it into the oven. Hey y'all, let's get into the oven. Oven has been preheating to 450. You're gonna let it sit for about 30 minutes, or until you start to smell it, like my mama would say. Then we're gonna drop that heat to about 300. We're gonna let it ride for about 2 to 3 hours. This is a 10-pound brisket. I'd give it about 3 hours to roll. Something like that. Not an exact science, we're cooking. We're not doing mathematics. Hey y'all, brisket is ready to come out of the oven. So what we're gonna do right now is get him out, let it rest, and we'll go to what's next. Come on, let's get him out of the oven. That's a good looking brisket. I'm gonna let it cool down, maybe about 45 minutes to an hour. Sit down. I'm gonna take it out of here, put it on a separate rack. Then I'm gonna take these pan juices, I'm gonna pour them off into a bowl. I'm gonna put them in the refrigerator too. I'm gonna let all that fat rise to the top, and the broth is gonna separate. The fat's gonna come to the top. We're gonna use that fat to make a pan gravy. And then we're gonna use that broth to really thicken the gravy. So that's our plan. So check back with us. We'll show you what's next. So now what's next, we're gonna get it out of this pan into this one. When we get it in here, so I'm just taking 2 big items. I got my spatula, got my fork. I'm just gonna bring this little fellow over. Let him rest right in there. Okay? And then I'm gonna take these juices, I'm gonna pour them off into a separate pan, into a bowl actually, and I'm gonna put this in the refrigerator. I'm gonna cover this fella up, put him in the fridge, and I'm gonna let it cool down, maybe for about 45 minutes, so the temperature drops. Now I'm gonna give it into the refrigerator and let it sit until it's, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours, preferably overnight is what I do. And then this goes in the fridge as well. And when we take it out, come back and tell you what's next. But we gotta, this process, this step is important, making this thing come out extremely tender and delicious. So the brisket goes in the fridge for at least 4 hours. I need to drop the temperature. I need it all the way chilled. And I need this, our au jus, to go in the fridge, be completely chilled, because we want to see some separation between the broth itself and the fat that's going to rise to the top. We're going to use that fat that rises to the top to make a roux and make our pan gravy, which is going to be out of this world delicious. Hey y'all, the brisket's out of the refrigerator. This is what it looks like. We're gonna clean it up and cut it, remove all the excess fat, and then we're gonna use all the drippings to make a roux and then make a gravy sauce, which is gonna be absolutely amazing. So let's get started. All right, y'all, hey look, now we've got the brisket trim. I've taken off all the excess fat. This is the point, and this is the end. It's nice and beautiful. Cooked down, looks amazing. Now here's what we're gonna do. It's important now. I'm gonna cut it, I'm gonna get it into this pan. I'm gonna let it sit here until I make this sauce for it. I'm gonna pour the sauce over. But first things first, we're gonna cut it. Careful, this is important. This is really important. So you gotta cut it against the grain. And if you can see, the grain is kind of running this way. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna tilt my end. I'm gonna cut this thin, y'all, so that there's plenty to go around. Thin slices, maybe about 1/4 of an inch. I don't want a 1/2 inch, I'm aiming for 1/4 of an inch. Really thin. Hey, y'all, look, we got everything sliced and diced. This looks amazing. Here's the flat, here's the point. We're gonna use all of that. But before we use, so this is how we want it. I'm gonna set it aside, and now we're gonna use this, all the drippings. So what's on top is pretty much fat, but that's gold, liquid gold. So this is what we're looking for. All this fat on top, that is gold. That's what we're gonna use to make our roux. And that's what's gonna impart all the flavor into our brisket. So what I'm gonna do is just skim the top of that. All I want is the fat off of it. And underneath is liquid gold. And this is what we're gonna use to make the roux. And we're gonna use the base of that to thicken the sauce after we make our roux. This is the money. You see that? Liquid gold right there. Check this out. We've got maybe about, I'd say, roughly 8 ounces of drippings in this little, in our measuring cup. So about 1 cup of fat drippings. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take probably half of this, and I'm gonna add it to my pot in the back on the stove. We're gonna make a roux, and after we get that roux thickened to where we want it, we're gonna add this to it to make our pan sauce. Okay? So let's come on back here and check this out. Okay, I'm gonna put about, let's just see what it looks like. I'm thinking about 3 or 4, about 4 ounces. Look, at my household, people like gravy, and they always want more. No one wants less, they always want more. So I'm gonna make a whole lot. So we got about, this is 1/2 cup. Just gonna sprinkle it in. We're gonna cook this low and slow, y'all. So kind of over medium-low heat. I'm just gonna stir that in. But you want it to tighten up. Okay, we're going to cook this down until it gets dark. We're making a beef gravy. Not a chicken gravy, not a turkey gravy. So you want it to be about the color of the beef that you're cooking. So when this gets nice and dark, that's when we're ready. So low and slow. Don't cook this fast, you'll burn it. All right, so look at that. Remember how we started? That's starting to look a little bit more like a chocolatey color. This is the color we're looking for. We're making a beef gravy. So what I'm gonna do, I got my fire on a little low. Let me get a whisk. We're gonna take those drippings right here and pour a little bit in. Give it a stir. It's gonna start to thicken. Pour a little more in. Give it a stir, work it all in nice and good. It's gonna keep thickening. Pour some more in. Make sure my fire is up good. And this is just the thickening power of that flour we put in. So in the end, I end up using all of my drippings, which is about 1 cup of flour.
I don't want to pour this in all at one time. Just gonna keep stirring it, letting it do its thing. Man, that's a lot. If you don't have enough drippings, you always add water or get some more of that beefy onion soup we started with and add water to it. That way you can keep that same flavor profile.
We're gonna use all of it?
Yeah, I'm gonna use it all. Just turn it up. So once you get it, all of it in, you gotta bring this to a boil. And then we're gonna reduce it to a simmer. And the reason you have to bring it to a boil is to get the full potential of your flour. So once it boils, that lets it reach its, it's at its full potential, and it's gonna do all it needs to do. So I'm bringing it to a boil. See that? We're gonna let this come to a boil, then I'm gonna reduce it to a simmer. But this is starting to look absolutely incredible.
Hey y'all, look here. Brisket is out. It's been cut. We've been working on that sauce in the back for just a minute. So I've had it simmering. So now what I want to do is take you back here and show you how to finish this thing. So come on over here and check it.
So let me show you how to really check your consistency. Get you a spoon. Dip it in straight. Look at the back. What you want to be able to put your finger and it stays there. Okay, don't want it to break. So we're looking pretty good here. And that's called, you're just checking the nap, or the nappe if you're French. You just want it to break and hold, and it did. And that is the nappe. And it lets you know the consistency of the sauce. Now, back in the day when I had a whole bunch of hair, if I said nappe, you'd say, oh, you're talking about your hair. But uh-oh, no, I'm talking about the sauce. Because that's just the consistency of the sauce, not what's happening with your hair. All right, so I'm gonna get a little taste. That is tasty, but I like a little more cracked black pepper. Okay. Started with 1 cup of flour and 1 cup of our drippings from our brisket, to make the roux, and we cooked it down.
Y'all look, we just adjusted the seasonings on that. It is perfect. Now, we're just gonna bring it off the stove. You're gonna say, who needs all that gravy? You do. Let me tell you why. So we're gonna put about at least half of this right on top. You can say we're gonna save this, what's in the pan, put it on the table so folk have gravy to eat with their mashed potatoes, stuffing, dressing, turkey, everything else. But now what we're gonna do, we're gonna braise this one more time. So we cooked it the first day. Now we're gonna make ourselves a little bit of a foil pack, seal this. Show you something, check this out. Make sure you do your foil right so you don't say the foil came off. Take the foil, cut 2 pieces about the same size. Bring the ends together. Pull up about 1 inch or 2. Lay it flat. Fold it halfway back. Fold it back one more time. Now we got a perfect seal. Put it onto it. And we got pretty much airtight braising seal happening on our pan. This is going to go in that oven in the back. It's been preheating to 350. I'm going to let it go until about, 30, 40 minutes, or until it's a little bubbly around the edges, and the meat is going to be fall off the fork tender. All right, so let's get it into the oven. here's the deal. I want to dig in and taste this bad boy. See what it tastes like. So it looks amazing. Smells like my childhood, like the way my mama would make it. Looks like my childhood. Mom would be proud of her baby boy. Look, y'all. You want to put a brisket on your table on Thanksgiving, Christmas, or any other day during the week. This is the way you want to do it. You can do the barbecue brisket, but this ain't that. This is something that you can serve with potatoes, gravy, and green beans. Put some yams around it. Put some dressing and cranberry sauce. Put it on your table for Thanksgiving. Put it on your table for Christmas. Put it on your table. Hey y'all, brisket is crazy good. Checks all the boxes. Flavorful. Great texture. Smells amazing. Tastes great. But that's my opinion. You know what happens in this household? When stuff starts smelling, that's about time my baby comes in. And y'all look here. There she is.
Hey.
Beautiful as ever. Hey baby.
Thank you.
Hey, look here. Today is brisket.
I see.
Lillie Mae's brisket. That's my mama. Hey, so when she made it growing up, you know the deal. Baby, I got a plate just fixed just for you.
Oh, wow.
So you give that a shot. Let me know what you think. Potatoes and gravy.
That cut real easy. Get it on my fork.
Do your thing.
It just falls apart.
That's what it's supposed to.
This is very good. Wonderful. So I guess this is going to be on our Thanksgiving table?
It's going to absolutely be on our Thanksgiving
All
table.
right. You know, this would be really good over like a bed of rice
Absolutely.
or some potatoes. Just top it up.
Hey y'all, it'd be good over that, baby. You need a biscuit so you can get all the gravy on the side. It'd be good in the morning too. You can do this. Look, it's great for dinner.
It would be good for breakfast with eggs.
With eggs and that biscuit on the side to go with it.
Yeah.
To get all that gravy that's coming off of it. You know, look here. This was a 10-pound brisket.
Wow.
And it's just me and my baby. But when I'm cooking for my baby, this is how we get down. So y'all want to cook this one at home. Make sure it's on your Thanksgiving table. Make sure it's just on your table. This is going to be one that you're going to get rave reviews about. Okay? So try it. If you get stuck, drop a question down below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and comment. But what you really want to do, if you like this, check this video out next. And be sure to go check out flavorperbite.com for all the recipes that you see. This one and all the other ones we got. Until next time, we'll holler.
It's good.